you very much. Commissioner Okan, could you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Commissioner Cruz. Commissioner Eggenberger is absent. Commissioner Foster.
Hello.
Commissioner Janowski.
Here.
Commissioner Okan here. Commissioner Singh is absent. Commissioner Watkins is absent. Commissioner Weber.
Here.
And Chairwoman Zuber.
Here, thank you. And we also have our staff members, Patrick Sloan and Aaron Schluto here. So thank you very much. And with that, do we have anyone who wants to make a motion about the minutes?
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 5th, 2023 meeting.
Support.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Weber and support by Commissioner Foster. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have a short agenda this evening with just 2 items of old business and a miscellaneous item. Is there anything new we should know about or add to the agenda, Patrick?
No changes to the agenda. The only item that I wanted to mention was that the 3 commissioners who were absent this evening had prior notice.
Okay, thank you.
you.
Thank you for pointing that out. Awesome. All right, so, and do we have any communication? Oh, we need to approve the agenda. Thank you. Was that a motion?
I'll move to accept the agenda as written.
Support.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Weber and support by Commissioner Okan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. So, do we have any communication that we should know about?
No additional communications.
Okay, very good. With that, let's go right into our old business. Our first item on the agenda is number 073 SPC 7293, that is Greenland and Sage. We're considering site plan for parcel number 073-99-0001-706, also known as 49491 Cherry Hill Road. The property is located on the south side of Cherry Hill between Denton Road and Ridge Road. Proposed is a building design modification and other site plan changes. Patrick, could you please tell us more?
Sure. Just a quick recap of when we were here last at the June 5th Planning Commission meeting. The Planning Commission had reviewed some modifications to the previously approved site plan and approved some site plan changes for interior landscaping, parking, and dumpster enclosure changes. And there were some other proposed changes for the facade design that were tabled and deferred pending receipt of revised plans. So the applicant had revised the building design plan since the June 5th Planning Commission meeting, and there's been some frame brick areas added to the upper story. So those changes have been noted in the packet this evening. And then the applicant has also provided both the two-dimensional black and white elevations as well as some color 3D rendering elevations. So some of the changes have been made in terms of when the Planning Commission mentioned having some kind of a compromise between the previously approved design and what was proposed on June 5th. So those are included this evening, as well as a recap of our staff report of the motions taken and approved at the June 5th meeting. So our recommendation is that if the Planning Commission is satisfied with the proposed designs, our recommendation is for approval, subject to any state, county, and township requirements. So that concludes the staff report, and we'll be happy to take any questions.
Great. Does the project sponsor have anything to add? Did you want to add it? Okay, thank you. Well, I don't know about the rest of the committee, but I feel like thank you for providing the 3D renderings. Those are extremely helpful, and I think that the new version looks very nice. Thank you for listening to what we had to say. I appreciate that.
I would agree. What a big difference.
Yeah.
Very nice. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Patrick, can you put up the image that shows like the initial design and then the new next to each other? I'm sorry, could you go to the microphone? Thank you. That way that everyone that watches the recording can hear you.
Good evening.
My name is Najim Semwa with CDPA Architects. We are the architects, the designers, and also the construction managers for the project. What I wanted to say is I thank you for your time, and I obviously hear our goal and yours are very similar. And I wanted to take the opportunity in here because I don't think you met Mr. Siblini, who's the project sponsor in here, and he's actually going to be the person that you'd see more than I would do. So we look forward. I just like to give you an update. Had it been not for the rain that we had, you would have seen the foundations go into the ground. We have made some progress, and the site is underway. And now we look forward to your action tonight, so that we can continue on with our schedule. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to add from the board? No?
Just agree with what you said, is I think the new drawings look very good.
Yeah.
I'm anxious for the store to get done.
Yeah. Anybody want to make a motion, anyone?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion. I move to recommend approval of the building design and site plan amendments for the grocery store and bakery on parcel number 073-99-0001-706, subject to all state, county, and township requirements.
Thank you.
Support.
All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Okon and support by Commissioner Weber. Commissioner Okon, could you call the vote, please? Or any further discussion, I guess I should ask. I'm not good with Robert's rules yet. So, all right. Commissioner Okon, could you call the vote, please?
Sure. Commissioner Cruz? Yes. Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Janowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Okon, yes. Commissioner Weber?
Yes.
And Chairperson Zuber?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to being part of the Cherry Hill Village community, and hopefully you'll see something that is extravagant from interior as much as the exterior. So thank you.
Can't wait.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, and our next item on the agenda, I've got.
I'll get started on it right away. Thank you.
So our next item on the agenda is the site plan amendment for the proposed addition and construction of new outbuildings for Plymouth Canton Montessori School. Patrick, could you tell us more?
Sure, thank you. This item was reviewed at the June 5th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting, and, well, I'll bring up the aerial map. That'll get us started. And there were several items that were noted in our staff report at the June 5th meeting where we had presented some options for the Planning Commission for either conditions of approval, possibly, or to defer action pending receipt of revised plans that address the items noted in the conditions. And so after reviewing the plans and discussing the proposed changes with the applicant, the Planning Commission had tabled and deferred action on this application pending the receipt of revised plans that address the conditions noted in the staff review letter. So the applicant has since revised the plans and turned them around. And because we were looking at a special Planning Commission meeting, we wanted to also get this one on the agenda in front of the Planning Commission since the plans had been received in a timely manner. And so the items that were noted in our previous staff report in terms of the changes that we recommended taking place, they have taken place. Some of the highlights are there's now a sidewalk connecting the sidewalk from Joy Road to the building. The dumpster enclosure has been moved southward, and the proposed recreation building and the existing school have had brick added to them to bring their percentages up. Notably, the recreation building is over 50% brick, and the additions to the main building are at least 50% brick. And I think because of the existing wood siding on the main building, I think the overall building will likely be less than 50% brick, but the addition itself is at least 50% brick. So what remains is there, but whatever's being added is compliant with the 50% brick standard of the zoning ordinance. So those are some of the highlights. So in our letter, if the Planning Commission is satisfied with the overall site plan design, we recommend approval of the site plan amendment to the Montessori school, subject to 7 conditions that we noted here. And I'll go through these conditions one by one. They're each a little unique. And I'll also note that since our staff review letter of last week, the applicants had made some further revisions to the plans and emailed them to me this afternoon. Nothing in time to really get in front of the Planning Commission, but just a show of the willingness of the applicant to comply with the conditions and try to move the application forward. So as they relate to these conditions, I'll make sure I note any changes that have taken place since the staff report to the plans proposed by the applicant. The first condition that we recommend is approval of the parcel combination application. The applicants have submitted the application, and staff has recommended approval of that parcel combination. There's an internal process through assessing and land record development changes that go through the township's process, and some of that is just outside of my hands. So far as the planning division is concerned, we recommend approval of the parcel combination application that has been submitted. But this is just a condition that'll carry forward with the application to assure that those parcels are in fact combined. The second condition is the addition of a one-way do not enter sign where the one-way exit intersects the main driveway. This way, drivers are instructed not to turn left into the drive as they enter the site. We have a lot of schools in the township that have a similar one-way circulation. It makes sense for schools, and in many cases, they have similar signage like that. So that's pretty standard with many of the schools that we have. The third condition is to revise some of the discrepancies in the landscape plans to comply with Article 5 of the zoning ordinance. These aren't major discrepancies. Oftentimes, we see discrepancies through the process and recommend them as conditions of approval. So compliance is attainable, and the landscape plan is mostly compliant. These are just some follow-up items to fix before they're officially approved. The fourth condition is the addition of building-mounted lights on the west side of the building and addition of light poles and building-mounted lights as needed to comply with Section 2.13 of the zoning ordinance. That section of the zoning ordinance includes the lighting standards, and there are additional light fixtures that were shown on the plans emailed to staff today. I think we're waiting on some details for the photometrics, but there are some illumination standards in Section 2.13 that would have to be adhered to. So we would recommend that as a condition of approval of both staff review of the fixtures, the locations, as well as the photometric plan to make sure that the illumination of the walkways, the parking lot, other necessary areas that must be illuminated do comply with Section 2.13 of the ordinance. The fifth condition is revision of the proposed sign detail on sheet S1 to comply with the zoning ordinance. The plans that were emailed to staff today show that the sign has been reduced in size. We haven't scaled up everything, but there have been revisions made to the sign in an attempt to meet that criteria. So that's something that we'll continue to review to make sure, but the applicants have made those revisions downward with the signage. The sixth condition recommended is revision of the dumpster enclosure plan to state that the gate will be 8 feet high. I think there might have been a typo on the plans before you this evening that noted that it's a 6-foot high fence. They've changed the plan on the ones emailed this afternoon and changed that 6 feet to 8 feet to comply with the zoning ordinance. So the ones that were emailed this afternoon, the plans, they comply with that condition. And finally, the seventh recommended condition is compliance with the recommendations of the traffic impact study subject to Wayne County review and approval. This was recommended in our previous letter. It's something that the applicants have acknowledged that they'll comply with, but like the land combination application, this would remain a condition just going forward because it carries through with the project itself. So that concludes our staff review of the proposed addition and recreation building, and we'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Does the project sponsor have anything to add? just wait till you get to the mic so we can all hear you. That's okay.
My name is Maurice Charbonneau. I represent JSN Architecture. We're the architects of the project. And I'm not sure that I have anything specific to add other than the fact that, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I would kind of echo what Patrick has said, that when we were made aware of the problems or discrepancies on the drawings, we've made the attempt and we have made the revisions. I apologize for not having them in your hands prior to this meeting, but everything's kind of, as I'm sure you understand, everything's been kind of compressed. The fact that we're here for a special use or a special meeting, is a demonstration of that. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I think, just going forward, we've been trying to bring everything into compliance when it's been brought to our attention. So I guess with that, do you have anything to add, Tom? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody want to say, anybody? Let's start down there. Alan, it looks like you have something to say.
It looks like your traffic engineer looked at the interior queuing, and what did they find?
I believe you were referencing their revised letter, which I reviewed. They did a study of the traffic patterns within, and I didn't notice any recommendations as far as any difficulties as far as the backup. I don't know if you saw anything or identified anything problematic in that write-up, but I think it was certainly what we expected.
To me, it looked like that they observed basically what the applicant said last time, that the stacking was plenty and it's really not, and they anticipated with the additional students that it wouldn't be enough to worry about, but that was my understanding, right?
Including the increase, it looks like, so they factored in the increase, which. And Patrick, you said it's still going to go to Wayne County for engineering review for the approach and traffic?
Correct. They have to go to Wayne County for stormwater, and the applicants have recently sent the township a letter from Wayne County through their engineering consultant, which I think is Wade Shrem, indicating their preliminary approval of the stormwater management.
All I got.
Nowski, did you have anything to say? Okay. Commissioner Foster?
No comment.
Commissioner Weber?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okan?
I'm good, thank you.
I guess my feedback would be that I still have some concerns about aesthetics, but I think that you've met the spirit of the ordinance, and I appreciate that you've done that. But I think, we can move forward if everyone agrees. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I move to approve the site plan amendment for Plymouth Canton Montessori School at 45245 Joy Road, parcel 0109900117101 and 0109900127101, subject to all state, county, and township requirements and subject to the following conditions. 1, approval of the parcel combination application, application number 010PS7810. 2, addition of a one-way do not enter sign where the one-way exit intersects the main driveway, so that drivers are instructed to not turn left at this drive. 3, revision of discrepancies in the landscape plans to comply with Article 5. 4, addition of building-mounted lights on the west side of the building, and addition of light poles and building-mounted lights as needed to comply with Section 2.13 of the zoning ordinance. 5, revision of the proposed sign detail on sheet S1 to comply with Article 6A of the zoning ordinance. 6, revision of the dumpster enclosure plan to state that the gate will be 8 feet high. And 7, compliance with the recommendation of the traffic impact study, subject to Wayne County review and approval.
Thank you. Support?
Support.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Weber and support by Commissioner Okan. Any further discussion? All right, Commissioner Okan, could you please call the vote?
Commissioner Cruz. Commissioner Foster.
Yes.
Commissioner Janowski.
Yes.
Commissioner Okan, yes. Commissioner Weber.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Zuber.
Yes. All right, very good. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so next steps, Patrick, what, I forgot to ask that last time, but.
Yeah, the next steps will be, the Planning Division will review any changes to the plan to make sure they comply with the conditions of approval. And the Township Engineering Division will review anything it needs to before pre-construction meeting. And my understanding is that building permits are going through the state of Michigan, and stormwater and road changes will go through Wayne County.
Good, thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Right, so next item on the agenda, I think we have some exciting planning geek stuff to talk about.
Thank you.
Is there master plan stuff?
Oh, did you just call Aaron a geek?
I did.
It's
I mean, I
absolutely
mean
true.
that very affectionately.
It is absolutely
Planning
true.
geek, to be specific.
I think she,
Prefer nerd, but you know, whatever.
nerd, okay. Well, it's on the agenda, but you didn't have anything in the packet, so.
No,
did you
there
wanna
wasn't anything
discuss
in the
it?
packet to share with you this evening. I just want to give you an update that we've been holding our stakeholder discussions for the master plan. So we had a couple of the topic-based, and then we had some of the geographic-based ones earlier this week. In fact, we had one this evening just before this meeting. So I went from that one to this one today. So we've gotten a lot of really good feedback. It's been a lot of really good energy in the room. So I just want to say to anyone who's watching, thank you again for participating. We're going to have the next 4 are going to take place in July after the holiday break. So no meetings next week. They'll take place thereafter. So after that, we're going to start having some draft text for you all to look at. We're formulating some draft statements. So those will be forthcoming, and we look forward to bringing you some of the results of the work that we've been doing over the last year, because we've done a lot of community engagement. We've heard a lot from our residents and community stakeholders, and it's been a really worthwhile and a fun experience. So you're going to start to do some of the heavy lifting now.
Hey, I'm also.
That's the fun stuff.
I'm a planning nerd too, so.
Yes.
Awesome, thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't take offense.
Good, good. Very good. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about? I mean, it's time for
I move to adjourn.
public comment. We have public comment. Awesome.
Is it the 10th? Yep.
Yeah. That's good. Yes, it's the 10th, yes. Yes. So, thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Thank you. All right.
So
I
we're
guess
gonna have a
we're
chicken,
done.
we have a chicken restaurant coming to town, not Chick-fil-A?
That's correct. On the agenda at the end, in terms of new applications received, we've received an application from a fast food drive-through restaurant called Raising Cane's. And the site that they're proposing is on the north side of Ford Road at the TGI Fridays restaurant site. So the proposal would be to demolish the TGI Fridays and to construct the fast food restaurant. Fast food restaurants are special land uses, so once the application is sufficiently complete, it will come to the Planning Commission for a public hearing for the special land use and possibly the site plan. They filed both the special land use and the site plan applications at once. So they may come together, or the special land use may go ahead of the site plan, depending on how complete those plans are. There may be one.
I looked at their website, they don't have one. The closest one is in Ohio.
Okay,
There's one in my hometown.
there might be one on the way elsewhere. So I don't know if we're in a race
Based
with
on
another
South,
community.
is that where-
Yeah, Texas,
It's
I
all,
think.
it's all chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Chicken tenders and garlic bread.
Hope you like chicken tenders, yeah. Awesome.
Still move to adjourn.
Well,
I support.
And we're
okay,
near
we
the
have a
support.
motion and support to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? You gonna stay?